The local magistrate in a small village, surrounded by mountains, has been charged with collecting rice from the farmers to pay the taxes established by the lord of the lands. Shrouded in an eerie mist, the tired villagers have nowhere to run.
Welcome back to Let's Play Blood Will Tell. Here in Chapter 3 with Kaboom Dragoon.
Back to make an appearance in every LP ever, apparently.
Yep, it's required. And Chapter 3, we're going to see an amalgam of multiple stories from the manga. Combined in a pretty clever way, I think.
Yeah. I hadn't actually had a chance to read the manga at the time when I played this, so... And this is also around about the point I stopped playing, so it's going to be interesting to see where this goes now.
Yeah. I certainly think it is.
The darkness.
I actually read the manga, like, partially after playing the game, and then I caught up to where I had played the game and the manga and kept reading.
Mm-hmm.
So, various parts, I either knew the manga first or the game first.
Yeah. I read the manga years ago. Don't remember much about it bar the hilariously graphic violence and huge body count.
Oh yeah.
But then again, it's basically, if you ask me about Berserk, I'll say the exact same thing, and that's an interesting stone.
Yep, I'd agree. We got a new sword, it's actually pretty good.
Hey! Wow, that's actually an improvement.
Oh yeah. And we're going to start using the Thunder Strike more, because that's better for groups of enemies.
What was that?
An earthquake?
Something's not right about this mountain. Please stop! Someone needs help! This way!
Dororo's catchphrase, something's not right.
That's cute. They're acting like earthquakes in Japan are something that never happens.
That was an awfully talkative earthquake if you were paying close attention, though.
Well, you know, sometimes the land has things to say. Mostly, stop treading on me, you stupid bastards. I was here first. And that's why I was kicked out of Greenpeace.
I was gonna say.
Oh! Why, you little...
What's the big idea surrounding a little lady like that?
Silence! This matter does not concern you.
I will not hand this temple over to you.
Kill her.
My lord.
I told you to knock it off!
Looks like you want to go first, huh?
Let's see how well you do against someone your own size.
It's real stereotypical Speed Racer style dubbing.
This sword was only meant to shed demon blood. Dororo, stay behind me.
Yaki's only got one of his eyes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
For some reason that just occurred to me there.
There was a good threat from Yakimaru there. I can't kill you with this sword. Now prepare to die. And, yeah. I'm living up to that promise by getting my ass kicked.
Like, this is great. He keeps doing the same thing over and over again. He's making us look technically proficient.
This fight is pretty difficult. In this case, the whole only being able to use your sword thing is a severe impediment because we don't have very many of our sword abilities, which we're going to unlock later.
Yep, no gun, no mortar, no spirit attack.
Yeah, so it's very easy to get overwhelmed and not have any way to fight your way out. Also, these pricks do the same trick as those dogs, where they spawn in mid-attack.
Yeah.
Real cheap stuff. You can die pretty easily here. This is actually where I used my Jukai's medicine that I got last time in my original playthrough.
Yeah, because I was going to say...
This time I don't have it.
Yeah, the little green dot above the life counter. Is it up?
Yep.
Which I only actually noticed while watching these videos.
Yeah, it actually was like in the middle of the game that I noticed it myself.
Yeah. Because anytime I wanted to check when I was playing, I had to go and, check in the inventory screen.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until I saw you playing this, about the third or fourth video, I was like, oh right.
Yeah, once you realize that it's like Metroid Prime energy tanks
Yeah.
right above the health bar, then it's pretty convenient.
On the plus side, we're halfway done with this.
Yep. And I'm at about half health. Much lower now.
More like a quarter, but...
Yeah. They occasionally drop rice balls and very, very occasionally drop invincibility potions. For the most part, you're on your own here.
Yeah.
And eventually I'm going to learn that you really want to be as aggressive as possible, because the only time they're not attacking you is when they're in the middle of being attacked.
Or when they're trying to surround you.
Yeah. Accidentally tried to do a slice attack there, which would not have been very effective. I keep trying to accidentally do this jumping charge attack. I always get knocked out of it, though.
Only really works when you've got your sword arms.
Yeah. And I'm one hit away from death.
Jesus.
Like I said, this is really hard. And then I just press the attack, and they're all dead. All it took was for me to stop being a coward.
And nearly die.
Yes.
You
Is that all?
insolent cur. I, Kagemitsu Daigo, shall deal with you.
Father, you need not dirty your hands with these vagrants. Let us retire for the day. You're quite skilled, but next time you shall face me.
Thank you for saving us, kind sir. My name is Mio.
My name's Dororo, and this here's Hyakimaru.
Hyakimaru and Dororo, I cannot thank you enough.
What happened here anyway?
That samurai, Kagemitsu Daigo. He was going to burn down the temple. But we can't leave this place. We all lost our parents in wars. This is the only home we have.
Who is that Daigo guy anyway?
People say he's trying to unite Japan under a single peaceful rule. Yet, he's taking over each region by force. I don't see how fighting can bring peace and happiness.
Fighting can't bring happiness?
News to me.
Dororo not understand.
Take care.
Dororo have to steal all the cutlery just to make sure.
And Dororo learned an important lesson about killing and how it occasionally is not the right answer.
Well, to be fair, last time he tried to get his ass thoroughly kicked and was possessed by a demon.
Very true.
So he's maybe not the fastest learner.
Now that temple we just came from, that is actually a place that in the manga Hyakimaru went to long before meeting Dororo. Pretty much right after leaving home, he sort of lost his way, didn't know what to do with his life, felt really down about being, not having any of his body parts.
Felt that community college degree was a bad idea.
Yeah, basically. And he was about to give up until a blind old man came by and impressed him with his swordsmanship, and then sort of led him to that temple where a bunch of other children lived. And in the manga, of course, they were all dismembered. And he was greatly inspired by their story and decided to continue on his journey.
Wow, just think, if I carry on, I could dismember people too!
I only eat once every 2 days. I can't take it.
Looks like we won't find much to eat here.
There's another little nod to a trait that Dororo has in the manga, which is that he will eat anything.
Well, every classic story needs the small kid that can eat through house and home.
Yep. But he, digs bugs out of the ground and stuff.
So, step up from Naruto and his ilk then.
Yes. And we got another gigantic village area to explore. Not too much to see here, though. We're gonna ignore most of it. And avoid the main path, because it's crowded with bugs.
And I've got a friend who would literally freak out at seeing these. Was lying in bed, woke up to find a spider crawling on her hand, and couldn't sleep in her bed for 4 or 5 days. Severe arachnophobia.
It's a terrible position to be in.
Listen, everyone! Lord Daigo has come to speak with you. Heed his words.
How come he's the only one who's fat around here?
It appears that you have ignored my laws and have refused to pay the rice taxes.
No, that ain't true. We've given our share of rice already.
We've already given all the rice we've farmed. We've got nothing to eat.
Silence! The magistrate has told me everything. He said that you have all refused to give up your rice to pay the taxes. Do not expect me to be merciful. You shall learn not to defy me.
My lord, please help us.
Some magistrate. All the villagers are rail thin, but his belly is huge.
Silence, you whelp! Punish them.
Wait a minute, old man.
Interesting choice of words.
What? You again?
Look at these people. They haven't eaten in days. What good does it do you to make them work more?
It makes me laugh.
To Daigo's lands, his word is law here. Insolence will not be tolerated.
Tahomaru. That is enough. Calm yourself. Remember, you have been warned. Magistrate, burning down the temple would make for wonderful farmlands, no?
It would indeed, my lord.
Come, let's go.
A demon aura?
Well, didn't see that coming.
We should find out more about this village.
Sure.
Certainly not our first rodeo in a village led by a guy possessed by demons.
Everyone else is suffering except for this one guy who's doing remarkably well for themselves. No, I'm not seeing a connection here.
Not at all. It's a good thing Yakimaru is, you know, the best detective in the world.
Oh yeah, trained by Batman himself here.
Yep. Now this is about the only corner of the gigantic village that we actually want to explore. It's got an excellent new sword back here.
Toys.
And an ambush.
Of course.
Which with our very low health is not a good thing.
Which we will run into face first.
Yes.
Wow, these guys are taking a beating.
Yeah, they have just huge amounts of health. And I wasted most of that, but I killed one of them.
Yeah, 2 of them.
The other one was already dead from sword beatings. Now, in my practice run, I got all X's on this slice attack, which disproved my theory that you can only get all X's on, you know, weak enemies. And I got a 30-hit combo that yielded a +3 lightning sword.
Ooh.
And that was ridiculously overpowered for the time I got it. I was not so lucky here.
Yeah, the slash combos really aren't that great until you get your stats up so you can use them.
Yeah, basically, your speed stat affects how long you have to do the slice attack.
See, I thought it was the endurance stat, but because the endurance stat didn't really seem to do much else.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know unless I had the manual. The manual says speed gives you more time to do it. Oh, and of course the luck stat affects what you end up getting.
Yeah. Now, what's that infamous nebulous stat?
Yeah.
Affects everything and nothing.
Indeed. And kill a few more bugs. I'm trying to get rice balls, which of course are a rarity in this town because it's starving.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. It's an unfortunate place to go to after having my ass kicked at the temple by those Kagemitsu Daigo soldiers.
Yeah. I just imagine them sort of going, hey, look what I can do. See? If you guys weren't so terrible.
Of course, I desperately need to pass these slice attacks, so I'm failing them all.
Well, of course.
But it's fine. I got just enough health to do what I need to.
Not die?
Not die in the upcoming Fiend battle.
Oh, goody.
Yes. There's a very conspicuous little arena-shaped area up in this corner here.
Never would have guessed if you hadn't told me.
Yeah.
Got to say that the game is kind of bland in places, but the Fiend fights are generally a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love all the boss fights in this game. And considering there's about 100 of them, that's a good position to be in. It's good old Great Horn being reused. I'm pretty sure they never reuse a boss model more than once, so you're never going to see this guy again after we kill him here.
I remember seeing in another playthrough there's I might be completely making this up, but isn't there one which is like a giant eyeball or something? At least it's been a long time since I played this, but I remember there being sort of a giant eyeball who gets used 2 or 3 times.
Possibly. I'm sure there is a giant eyeball somewhere. If there is, we'll see it. Now, he's basically the same as the Great Horn, the first boss of the game. It was pathetically easy. Except for that fire explosion tower move. Which is annoying. We can't hurt him during it. It's identical to our Firestorm.
Weak point Silly Sorn, I take it?
Yeah. Although it doesn't seem to be as effective. He has to, like, be in a position where his model is bent down.
Yeah.
Then you can really lay some damage into it, like there.
It does seem to stagger him, though, so that's always
Yeah, that's what really cripples this guy, is that you can push him around like a real chump.
And then he sets you on fire.
Yep. But his attack pattern is pretty pathetic and his damage output is poor. So it's an easy fight regardless. Just about got him. He's not going to make it easy, and Dororo's not going to help. Damn it, Dororo.
Sword arms have leveled up.
Even when he's trying to be useful, he's useless.
Yep. I guess he learned a lesson from Mio. Now he's refusing to fight.
You don't want my help anymore? Screw you! Oh wait, you're dead.
Adrenal glands.
Ooh.
Yeah, it could have been like a cool mechanic to give you maybe like a burst of like hyper fast attacks.
Yeah, that or, if it had added more to your... like a massive amount to your slash gauge thing.
Oh yeah. Instead it's +9 speed, which is an improvement to the slice attack, but not one that you're actually going to feel.
Yeah. The stats in this, it doesn't really feel like you get any improvement to them at first.
Yeah.
Until you
need
actually
a lot
get...
of them.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
It's that creepy
And then
Guardian.
you're like, oh, right, okay. This is actually... Huh.
Ugh. It felt like the mountain itself was screaming.
Maybe something's inside the mountain.
Maybe.
Hey, I recognize that potbelly anywhere. The magistrate. The villagers look like sticks. He's the only one looking healthy.
Maybe he's hogging the food to himself.
What's he being cautious about? Something's fishy here. Yaki, I'm gonna follow him, see what he's up to.
I'll head back to the temple. I'm worried about something Daigo said.
Gotcha.
Be careful, Dororo.
And we're on to our Dororo segment.
And that Scrappy Doo goes off on his own.
Yep. Now, considering the era of the PS2, particularly in the late PS2 after Metal Gear Solid hit it big, we are very lucky that these are not forced stealth segments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there were a lot of good games that fell to that trap. I remember particularly a game called Shadow of Rome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Had that phenomenal combat system, and then, like, between every Coliseum, you had to go through a really terrible, janky stealth segment.
Yeah, that would have been such a better game if you could play the two stories separately.
Yeah.
By which I mean never play the stealth sections.
Exactly.
Because the combat in that was so friggin' good.
Gorgeous, yeah.
It was, just if you haven't played it or if you haven't heard of it, stop watching this. Or, well, no, don't. Wait
until this is done.
Wait till this video is finished, then go watch. I think Jade Star did an LP of it.
Yeah,
which is also quite informative about the whole time period.
Yep.
And just watch
That's
it.
what he uses the stealth segments for.
Yeah.
To be informative.
Because the stealth segments are otherwise terrible.
Yeah, during the combat, he's just mouth agape at the gorgeous violence.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw it, I was over at a friend's house. He was telling me that this game is absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Handed me the controller, started a new game. First section, Coliseum, destroying heads left and right. And he's like, yeah, you're not going to like this part. And I'm like, what do you mean? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they did a bad here.
So if this LP teaches you anything, it's to go watch Shadow of Rome.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about before we started recording this, there was a lot of really, really cool niche games on the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
And Shadow of Rome fits that to a T, basically.
Yep. Which, of course, it was a Capcom game, so that's why it made its way over here.
Yeah. Otherwise, just wouldn't have
Yeah, it
happened.
probably would have been lost to obscurity.
Yep. Sort of like Gladius as well, which was a LucasArts RPG, surprisingly, which was set on basically same idea, set in the gladiatorial arenas.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But again, really fun game that got zero interest from anyone.
Isn't that always how it goes?
Yep. My shelves are full of games like that. But
Yeah, that's what LPs are for.
yeah.
Save the games that no one played.
I think someone actually tried a couple of LPs of Gladius, but it never really got anywhere, which is a shame.
Sometimes it can be hard for obscure niche titles like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Find an audience.
J-Star also did, what were the other Gladiator games that he did?
Yeah, there was another one, I forget which one though.
Yeah, it was an Atlas game, I remember, which was also re-released on the PSP, which was a very cool game. I can't remember what it was called. I'm sure someone in the thread will end up fanboying over it immensely.
Most likely. And we solved a ridiculously simple puzzle there that was full of padding.
Mio, you're safe.
Is something wrong, Hyakimaru?
No, I was just worried that Daigo and his goons would come back.
No,
I hate
fine.
goons.
Good.
Friggin' goons ruin everything.
He said something about burning down the temple, so it got me thinking.
If I burn down the
Do you have
temple
any way to
first...
protect yourself if he comes back?
No, wait, this isn't Spec Ops.
Aren't you gonna fight?
War is what took away our homes and our families. More fighting will only give birth to more pain and hatred. Nothing good can come of fighting.
But what good does that do you if you're dead?
Maybe you're right, but if we can convince even one person to believe what we believe, the world would be a much more peaceful place.
What?
I like to think from her perspective that she just saw Hyaki go berserk.
Yeah, how in the fuck did that sneak up on anyone? I'm calling bullshit here.
Demon magic powers. This guy, if you haven't already noticed, is very similar to the Goliath that we just fought. He just sort of has dual arm blades like our hero. Maybe we're not so different after all.
Yeah, I'm seeing kind of a duality thing going on here. Fighting is good, fighting is bad. He can't wipe himself when he goes to the toilet, neither can Kakimaru.
He can't with psychic powers.
But does he crumble or fold? Sorry, that's going to start another derail in the thread, and I don't want to do that. Goons are very particular about their toilet habits, is what I've learned.
Of course. If Lou reads the internet, it's taught me anything.
For a second there, I heard that as Lou reads the internet. My mind went weird places. But now he's going Super Saiyan.
Yeah, he's like a satyr guy with those furry legs. Big goblin ears.
Really more like Torgo. The guy from Manos, the Hands of Fate, by the way. Not the...
Say.
Blade Fiend's been hitting the all-time master there.
Yeah. And we pretty much just gotta hack at his face as much as we can.
The bosses do get more interesting later on. So.
Yeah, this is a poor choice to follow the Goliath we just fought because it's a very similar fight. And normally we could knock him off balance like we did the Goliath and just push him around the arena pretty easily, but he was not having it this time. Which is too bad. But he's dead, thankfully.
What prize do we get this time?
The facial recoveries always look especially painful.
Yeah. For a second I thought it was going to be sinuses. Well, congratulations, welcome to the world of migraines.
But no, now he can balance better thanks to his ears.
Combat recoveries are always good.
Yeah, it's a very useful ability.
Are you okay?
Happens all the time. Surprised
Love that line.
Don't worry about it.
48 parts of my body were stolen by fiends when I was a baby. And every time I kill one, I get a body part back.
I'm so sorry. It was
Well,
selfish.
time to go get these bad boys pierced at Hot Topic.
Could come of fighting. Seeing how you need to fight, I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. To be honest, I think you're right. That's the way the world should be.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, Mio. Never knew you had such a pretty voice, though. I'd always wondered what it
Hakimaru's
felt
got
like
some
to hear
big
a person's
earlobes on
voice.
him, huh?
His prosthetics were more flattering than the real thing. As much as I like that line read, where he just says, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's sort of symptomatic of, like, making Hyakimaru into a stoic badass in this game, as opposed to the manga.
Thing is, I've seen his voice actor and other stuff, and he's actually pretty good. It's just his delivery in this is incredibly, monotone.
I think he was directed to do that. But we'll see more of it in the next video.
Have fun, folks.